2, planning your days. Hello and welcome to Keto Go-Go. This is part 2 of the 3-part series of starting keto. So going on a keto diet isn't simply a case of putting a padlock on the bread bin and destroying your collection of takeaway menus. No, that's not a bad idea. It isn't just about breaking up your long-standing relationship with the bloke who runs a chip shop around the corner, or telling your kids the truth about how all clowns are evil. It's about planning. How people can approach that first week on keto so that afterwards they realise that actually, yeah, they do feel better. And that life does exist after the drive-through. So, get yourself a meter or some keto testing strips. You can buy a little finger prick blood meter, very similar to the one we diabetics use to test blood sugar, or the urine strips. A little bit of a technique, which change colour as you go into ketosis. I got the latter, I got the strips, and they are fun. Keep them up handy. It should take 2 to 4 days to begin ketosis, as soon as your body realises that it isn't going to get the usual replenishment dose of carbohydrates. So, what to eat? Breakfast. In the blue corner, wearing a coating of dissolved sugar, soaked in insipid semi-skimmed and promising ravenous hunger by 10 a.m, it's the cereal killer. And in the red corner, let's get ready to scramble. It's a tag team of scrambled eggs with hot and crispy bacon and a side of mushrooms fried in butter. And it will set you up for the day. It's the classic cooked breakfast. Now, if you eat it, you can let lunchtime pass you by, because you'll still be full. You still won't feel the hunger. After the breakfast of champignons, oh, very good, aren't I? You won't feel too peckish anyway. Those proteins and fats take so much longer to digest, unlike the bowl of sugary cereal. That cereal became a distant memory by 10 in the morning, and you needed a chocolate bar reinforcement just to get through to lunchtime. And at lunchtime, there's a factory-built sandwich to enjoy. Best not to read the suspiciously long expiry date on it, and instead tuck into a bag of crispy calories to go with it. Try not to think of how you're actually fueling your body. It's probably for the best. So, that was lunch. Come evening time and the hunger is real for both red and blue. And in the red corner we have a thick sirloin steak, complete with those grill marks, and a rind of juicy, tasty goodness on it. It's served with mushrooms, sautéed onions, and salad cups brimming with tasty goodness. There you go, Mum. Going to come out about 900 calories. It's a substantial meal. It's going to be slowly digested, and it's going to be satisfying to the last bite. In the blue corner, we have a frozen pizza, fresh from the back of the freezer and ready within 30 minutes. Topped with artificial cheese, wafer thin slices of pepperoni, and weighing in at a whopping 1200 calories. It will have been preserved using copious quantities of salt and sugar to keep it factory fresh, and it will keep you satisfied until 9 p.m. Guaranteed. Now this is a little embarrassing because we've moved forward to 9 p.m. and in the blue corner we have the fruits of a fridge raid plonked onto a plate during the ad break, and in the red corner, nothing. I think that goes down as a loss for the red corner. A loss of maybe half a pound. Quickly digested carbs are no match for the satisfaction and slow release of a well-cooked meal. Throwing it down outside. Water is definitely here. Anyway, back to that sirloin steak can be easily replaced by a homemade curry. It could be some lamb chops. It could be cauliflower cheese. It could be keto queso. Cooking a keto-friendly meal doesn't take forever. It just takes a little forethought and a bit of imagination. So, for those who don't have the forethought or the imagination, I'll be making a video once a week or so, no promises, of a recipe for a keto-friendly meal. I don't see myself in chef's whites for this necessarily, because I think that YouTube is jam-packed with videos of people slaving over a hot stove. I can do it, but I don't really have the setup for it. But I intend to show you that keto can be, and indeed is, a viable, interesting, healthy alternative to pre-packaged and processed foods. All you really need to do is plan out your food diary before you go shopping. Once you know what you're going to be eating, you'll be able to get your shopping done more quickly than usual. Some people would say that buying fresh food, buying fresh meat and fish is more expensive than buying the pre-packaged factory frozen meals. They're probably right. They say that it takes so much longer to prepare, which I very much disagree with, because you've got to thaw the other stuff out first. They complain that with their busy lives, they don't have time to prepare and cook more healthy food, and that it's much simpler to get something from the freezer. Rubbish. And rubbish food too. It takes 5 to 10 minutes to cook the perfect steak. It takes less than that to cook a fillet of salmon to perfection. And while it's cooking, preparing and sautéing some vegetables or chopping up a salad can be done with ease. I would say that within 20 minutes of starting, you can be eating your meal, and it will be a beautiful meal. Now compare that with waiting 40 minutes for something to emerge from the oven. That melted artificial cheese sure looks appetizing though, eh? Anyway, as far as the expense goes, by planning your meals, you throw nothing away. How much do you throw away when you don't do this? And you don't have a freezer filled with slowly degrading food that you'll never eat, but instead you paid fortunes to keep it in ice. Something's gone wrong. Keto is a reset. Keto is an acknowledgement that we've got things wrong and we need to effect a change. If you disagree, stop watching now. Our grandparents didn't suffer an epidemic of obesity. They ate, generally speaking, much less, if any at all, processed foods. They ate food produced locally, made by people they know. Now, I'm not trying to paint that time as something like a scene from the Darling Buds of May, where everybody cycled up and down the lanes with a slab of bacon wrapped in muslin shoved over their shoulder. Of course it wasn't like that. People lived in cities back then too. Not that long ago, said the 58-year-old. But it wasn't like today. There are some very common sense rules that I think we've tended to ignore, myself included. If vitamins and minerals have to be added to the food, if that food needed to go into a factory to make it edible, if it needs a source, if it has a freakishly long expiry date, and if it's unbelievably cheap, it isn't going to be any good for you. And I think we all, deep down, know that. But because it doesn't cause immediate death, it kind of gets a pass. I'd encourage everyone to look at their diet. I've taken a cold, hard look at mine because I am the result of years of eating wrongly. I am clearly no nutritionist. I'm clearly no fitness freak. I'm not qualified to tell you what you must do. But I'm living the problem as well as you. I am, or at least I was, the bad example. I have at least the experience of what 25 years of eating their mass-produced crap feels like. And now, on Keto A Go-Go, I have a platform. I have a platform to choose which diet to follow and to demonstrate by my own personal results whether or not it was the right thing to do. I will be following a keto diet plan as well as I can. I will be documenting my progress on this channel. I'm still aiming to lose another 50 kilos, having lost 15 so far, using the superb Exante range of products. If you're looking to lose weight rapidly, choose Exante, which is a precisely measured 800 calorie a day replacement meal plan with loads and loads of variety both in flavour and in type of meal. There's a link below this video in the spiel where you can save money from your first Exante order, and I get a reward for the referral too. I'm still aiming to leave type 2 diabetes behind. More about that in greater detail on the regular vlog though, because I need to talk about that. Speaking of which, if you haven't already, click on the subscribe button, which is down to the right. It's a red button with subscribe written on it. That should help. And click on the little bell to be beside it, which will let you be kept in the loop as far as my progress updates. Make comments below to let me know of your own progress too, and to share some tips and tricks of your own. In part 3, I'm going to give you a progress report and a review of my first week on keto. So that's all for part 2. As you know, part 1 was all about what should be on your shopping list. This video was about how you should be choosing between keto and standard dishes, and why the usual excuses just won't wash. And it's also been my attempt to encourage you to make the switch to what I believe is a more intelligent way to fuel your body. See you in part 3. Thanks for listening. Chat soon.